This conference will now be recorded.
Um, yeah. Okay. So today is the first session, right? So who would like to share the screen?
Can you share? I mean,
Who would like to share the screen? So today we are going to see how do we get the access to Salesforce, like how to create an environment. Yeah, just the basics.
Hi
Anyone?
Ram. Hi Ram. So
yeah,
you want to validate, create a Salesforce org in a developer edition, or is it something more
Yes.
than that you are going to cover?
No, it's in a developer edition.
Sorry?
Yeah, it's a developer edition.
Okay, so you are going to create a what do you call a Salesforce org in developer edition.
Yeah, in your environment. Yeah, it's a free environment, by the way.
Okay, I already have it, so I don't want to share mine.
How about others?
yeah, I would like to share.
I think Ram, there is no share option here. Can you make
No, I
presenters?
can make. I just gave the presenter access to Anita.
Okay.
Can you share mine?
Yeah, you can share it.
It's not. It's not going. I mean,
You got a presenter access already.
yeah, I got it, but
Can you click on that share
yeah, yeah,
button
that's what
and
I'm
then
doing. I mean, like it got stuck.
yeah.
It's not going. I mean, like everything, the tab it's going to Chrome tab and a new tab, but it's not going to share tab. I don't get it.
Okay. Yeah, Ram, just give it to me that presenter access. Let me try that.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
I've given it to Vivek now.
Malik.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry, Malik. You have it now. You can share.
Yep. Are you able to share my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a salesforce.com, right?
No. Can you go to developer.salesforce.com? So yes, you can get the free version even in direct salesforce.com as well, but there it is a limited version. It will be there only for 1 or 2 months. Suppose that it will expire. Rather, what are we trying to do now? We are going to get a developer edition where it is free for lifetime. Now, don't click on login. Rather, browse trails. Click on browse trails and then browse all trails. Sign up for developer edition.
This one, right?
Yeah. Now you can provide your details. Email will be your personal mail ID, and role can be anything. You can pick any role of your interest. It doesn't matter. And then
Welcome.
company also can be anything. You can directly use Salesforce itself. It doesn't matter. It's just to uh, capture the details. That's it. Yeah.
Oh,
And so username must be in a form of email.
that's it.
And yeah, click on sign up. So once the sign up is completed, you will be getting a verification mail to your personal mail ID from which you have to reset your password once so that you can start using it from the next time. It will take time, maybe a 30 seconds or so. You must be getting an email from support at the rate Salesforce. Can you click on sign up again, please? Okay, can you go to your email ID? I think it has already created. Yeah, it's there. Because the address is already in use.
What it is
Okay.
saying? There is an issue with the
Can you go to updates in your inbox? Do you have updates?
updates. No updates.
Okay. Okay, I think that user ID is already there. Can you change that mail ID to something else? I mean, it can be anything. Go to the developer edition, the second tab of your browser. Browser second tab. Yeah, just give Chirala, yeah, one. Yeah, click on sign me up.
This
But
email
this
ID
is
is
just
not there.
it doesn't matter. Email ID should be correct. No, don't click on it multiple times. Can you stay on one screen, Malik, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, click on sign me up.
No, again, it will throw an exception saying that your
Yeah,
username must be in.
yeah,
See,
because you're clicking on it multiple times. So let's process it properly. Yeah, just change it from one to two, and click on sign me up and wait till it completes the process.
okay.
Yeah, click on sign me up. Just leave the screen for a minute. Yeah, it will complete it. Now, so now what will happen is when you're signing up, it doesn't mean so it is something similar to say Facebook, but not exactly the same. Why? Because in Facebook, what you'll do. Okay, scroll up. There's no error as well. Go to your inbox, your mail ID.
This is verify account.
Yeah,
I think
click on verify account.
okay because
You got
this
it
is
already.
yeah. It
That's your
came.
email.
It came very late.
Yeah, as I said, it will take a minute time. So little patience. Okay, so now you have to reset your password, right? So which can be used for your lifetime in future once the password is sorted. Yeah, and post this, you will be allowed to access the org. And I'm not saying you'll be able to access Salesforce, but I'm saying you will be able to access your org. Why org? Because, for example, if you compare with this with Facebook, in Facebook, once I create my ID, right? What I can do, I can speak with my friends, right? Share my information. So it is connect. I can connect with the people globally, right? But when it comes to Salesforce, here you can connect with people within your org, which means, for example, let us say if I also join in the TBS org, and if I have access to Salesforce, then Malik can connect with me. Okay. So in this org, because as you have created this environment, you will be the owner and you will be the system admin for this. Okay. Now we'll see one by one. Don't worry. Now, first thing, let us look at this as a end user. So, okay, what, how does it look for an end user? So if I'm an end user, why do I need to use Salesforce? Simple, to process or to mature my data. Okay, how do I do that? First, to access, to do that, I should be able to access the data. So to access the data, uh, how do I tell you? Okay, consider Excel. Okay, so in Excel, first you will have a file, correct? Under file, you will have multiple sheets. Each and every sheet will have a table, and of course, in the table, you'll have data. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you open an Excel file? Just open Excel.
Just bear with me for some time. Okay. My system is not responding properly.
Okay, I will discuss later. So when it comes to Excel, right, as I said, first you'll have file. So now let us start comparing the terminologies between Excel and Salesforce. So when I say it's a file in Excel, the technical name for the same in Salesforce is application. Okay, how do I access the application? So to access an Excel file, you'll go to that respective folder. It could be on your desktop, documents, or personal folder, wherever, right? Here, you have to go to App Launcher. On the left top corner, below the cloud logo, there are 9 dots. Looks like waffle, right? Click on that. That is nothing but the App Launcher. And there, can you click on View All? And you can access the apps from there also. Or once you click on view all, it will show you all the applications that are available in your organization and of course which you have access. As you are the person, you have created this org, you will be the admin, so you have access to everything. Okay, now let us go with something very simple. Yeah, let's go to sales. Okay, so which means when you are hitting a Excel file, when you hit the Excel file, it will open up, right? And that by default it will show you some tab, right? One sheet, correct? Whether it is sheet one, two, or based on your last modification. Here, the moment I access an application, here we call them as tabs. See, next to sales, you have tabs like home, opportunities, leads, tasks, files, accounts, contacts. Can you see that?
Yep.
So in Excel, you'll have sheets at the bottom. In Salesforce, we'll have tabs on the top. Okay. Now, what is the purpose of a sheet in Excel? It basically helps you to access the data of that respective table or in that sheet, right? Here, these tabs are helpful in accessing the data for that respective table as well. So for example, click on accounts. No, just click on account, not on the arrow mark. Yeah. So this is the place I can access the data of accounts table. So the technical name for a Table in Salesforce again is object. Okay. So in Excel, you'll call it as table. In Salesforce, we'll call it as object. Clear? Any questions so far? No.
Yes,
Now,
please.
now, as Excel is a vanilla flavor, so you won't have filters and all. But here we can create our own views. Here it says recently viewed, right, on the left top corner. So click on the down arrow mark and say all accounts. Now you will be able to see some data. But Ram, I have created the org just now. So how come I got some data? So basically, Salesforce gives you some dummy data also when you have created the org for the first time, which helps you to understand the data model. Okay. It's not that these accounts we can make use of. This is just for our understanding. And it depends. If you are learning, you keep it, or if you are actually working for your organization, we'll delete it. Okay. Now inside the table, what you'll have rows and columns. Correct? Row is nothing but the detail of a particular record, and column is nothing but the data type, the type of the data that you can enter in each fold in each column. Correct? For example, if I say phone number, I have to enter phone number only there. I can't simply say, okay, phone number is ram@gmail.com. Correct? Now let's hit one of them. Can you hit one of the records? Whenever you see blue color, and if you just keep your mouse on that blue color, it is coming as an underline, right? Like that is called as a hyperlink. Okay. So this is how the record details. Can you go to the details tab, please? Inside this, you have details. So this is where you can see the details of the record. Okay. So yes, here also row is nothing but a record, but column we call them as field. So for me, rating is one field, phone is one field, account name is one field, account number is one field. Okay. Now, application is nothing but your Excel file. Inside your Excel file, you'll have multiple sheets. Inside your application, you'll have multiple tabs. Each Excel sheet helps you to access the data inside a table. Here, each tab in Salesforce helps you to access the data in an object. Every table will have rows and columns. Every object will have records and fields. Any questions so far?
So in this
I hope
case,
what
this related also is the object, right,
yeah,
Ram?
I'll go through that.
Okay.
I'll go through that because we do have a lot of people in the team in the session. So I'll go through each and everything. No worry. Okay.
Okay.
Are we clear till now? Now, for me, account is my customer. For example, let us say um, I manufacture mobiles. Yeah. And let's say Vivek came to my organization and he said he is from, let's say, Infosys, and he is the product manager for maybe some mobile application team. And he said, Ram, we are going to launch a new app. So for this, we need 100 mobiles to be tested. So deal is finalized. So I'm gonna sell some 100 mobiles to Vivek. Now, who will be the customer in this case? Who is my customer? So Vivek came to me. He said he need 100 mobiles for his team to test some application. And yes, of course, we had
Vivek
multiple
is
conversations about the discount, service, warranty, etc., etc. Finally, the deal has been finalized, and he is gonna pay me tomorrow. But my question here is, or let's say he paid me, I have given the mobiles as well, delivered the mobiles as well. Now, who is my customer in this case?
Vivek is a customer. Why? Because he's coming to us and he's asking about the mobiles and everything.
Perfect. Wrong answer. Because, of course, yes, Vivek is coming, but he's not buying the product for himself, right? He's not making, or Vivek is not paying me, right? It's not Vivek's money, correct?
Oh, it's
Vivek
company.
is coming on behalf of Infosys, correct? So Infosys will be my customer. Okay. Then Ram, who is Vivek in this case? Vivek is a point of contact for this transaction from Infosys. Okay. Or to elaborate a bit more, let us say deal has been done, things are good. Uh, Vivek mentioned that, okay, Ram, with the services that you have provided to us, so we are making you as our official a mobile vendor or something. I said, okay, great. After 6 months, let's say Vivek is from Hyderabad, right? So deal is done. After 6 months, there is another team, let's say sitting in Bangalore, headed by Arpita, and she wants to buy the mobiles. So of course, she'll go back and see who is their official vendor. Now it is me because Vivek helped me to become an official vendor of Infosys. Now Arpita will go to Vivek, check the and definitely she'll take a feedback about me, my organization. How does it really work? Let's say Vivek gave a good information or good feedback about me. And now Arpita says, okay, Ram, I got to know that one of my colleagues have brought the mobiles for this particular application last year or 6 months back. Now I am being heading the team of Bangalore, so I want maybe 50 more mobiles. So in this case, Arpita will be another point of contact, but I will have same customer. Customer is same because even Arpita is buying for Infosys. Vivek also bought for Infosys. Maybe in future Malik will buy it for Infosys in future. Let's say all three of them are at the same company, right? Which means customer is always your organization who is paying the money, and the folks who are involved in these transactions are point of contacts. Okay, which means as enforcers can have multiple employees, right? It's not that every employee will be there, but yes, based on the requirement, a particular person will be a point of contact for that transaction. Now, how do I capture this information? In Salesforce, customers information, which means the enforces information will always be captured in accounts table, in accounts object. Then where do I capture Vivek, Malik, Arpita's information? If you go to related, you will see related list which says contacts. So in this case, for a particular transaction, Jock Rogus was my point of contact for Burlington Textiles Corporation. Clear? So that is where it says I can see a new button there. If I hit on the new button, I can create one more contact under the same account. Now understood? So there are different types of relations that are being defined. We will discuss about the relations in future. But at this point, when you say related list, the child records of the parent will be shown in your related list. Just remember that. Well, we have a lot of sessions in future which are scheduled for where we'll discuss like how do we create this relation. First of all, how many different types of relations we do have, what are the differences, which one is important, which one should be taken care at what point of time. All these things we'll discuss in future. Any questions? Anyone till now? Okay. Now, let's say, okay, can you open a new tab in your browser? search for, let me account, oil, enter. What happened here? So when Malik tried to search for a particular string called oil, Google have returned or Yahoo have returned. Okay, I think it's a Yahoo search engine, right? So it have returned all the information, right? That is related to Yahoo oil in its server, and of course, which can be accessed by Malik, right? For example, it shows you some details from heartenergy.com, right? But that's not the only data that is there in the heart energy company. It might have a lot of other personal information also, but Mali don't have access to that, so it was showing only one link, right? And we call that as a Google search or Yahoo search or whatever, right? Now when it come, let's go back to our Salesforce. Now here you have a search bar about the accounts. Can you search for oil here and enter? Just search for oil and enter. The moment I search for a particular string, why I spoke about oil, because I know there are some records which speaks about oil in this dummy data given by Salesforce. Now, when I search for a particular string, what Salesforce will do is it will search for this string in all the objects that are available in the system, and of course which you can access. And on if you see on the left side, you can see the results as well. It says three accounts from account record account object, five plus, I mean, which has more than five in opportunities, contacts, and there are no informations in other objects, right? Which means throughout the org, the search bar is working, and this search bar we call it as global search, right? Now, let's say open this United Oil and Gas Corporation. Click on this, and finally Malik figured out some record. This is something that he is regularly working on, and let's say he wants to open this very often, or let's say he went on vacation. He was working on this record. He went on vacation for a month or two. Now he came back. So with the same name, let's say I have multiple accounts. There are chances that you can have same customer name for multiple customers, right? So how do I remember that? Okay, this is something that I'm regularly working on. That is where on the left right side next to your global search there is a star but option, right? Click on that star. You can make this as on the top, yeah. So you can make it as your favorite, so that next time, yeah, click on that. Next time, whenever in whatever the tab you are, if you click on that down arrow mark, you will see the favorites that the bookmarked records, and you can directly open them. Just click on any other tab, and yeah, you will see that. So you can open it. And once your job is done, click on edit favorites, and you can remove from your favorites as well. Okay. Then
Okay.
next to that, you have a plus symbol, right? Now, generally, when you speak about sales, right? Uh, let's say I want to create a contact record of Vivek. So how do I do that? Let's say I met Vivek in a flight, right? And I have explained about my business. Let's say I'm a sales engineer. So I've explained about the business. Vivek got impressed, but he said, Ram, I really have 2-3 minutes, not more than that, to give you the details. So I started capturing the details. So for that, I have logged into Salesforce, open the contacts tab, and then click on new button, and then started asking all the details. For example, go to contacts tab, go to contacts tab, yeah, click on new button. There is a new button, yeah. So this is how you can create the records in the system. Okay. Now let's say I can start capturing the details, right? Now, if I start asking all these details from Vivek, the high chance that he may not give me everything. But if you see, there are some mandatory fields. To avoid this, what I can do is, because asking a sales engineer to go with this process is a little hectic, right? To avoid this, what we can do is click on close this. Next to add favorites, you have a plus symbol. So from here you can create the contacts. It will ask for a basic information. Like let's say I just need his name, his basic contacts like mobile or maybe phone number and email ID. Just click on it. These are enough, right? Post that I can start capturing the information later, right? So this is easy way of creating a contact record. But what is the difference, Ram? Because that is called as global action, or we can also call it as quick action, because it is helping a respective end user to quickly take some action, right? Which means quickly create some records. We call it as quick actions. Okay. So if you just give last name and save, it will again create a record in the contacts table.
Hey, Ram, just to give me a second. Someone is knocking the door.
Yeah. And yeah, do let me know if you feel that we are going fast. Any questions so far in the meanwhile?
Ram Madhu here. Do we have any restrictions in place for this global contacts and direct inside object contacts creation, like
No, no, no. It's the same. It's like that is giving you a feature where you can quickly create it. That's it.
with minimal inputs? That's it. Yeah, thank you.
So Ram, where will this entire data be stored?
Um, so Salesforce has its own database.
Okay, but how does this data sharing between one database in the sense I created a org now, so will that organization will be creating a separate database or will it be internal to
So
Salesforce?
see when you create a org, Salesforce is giving you a space within their server, and whatever the data you're capturing, right, it will be stored in that particular space.
So how are we making sure that my organization's data is not shared with other organization?
Yeah, that's where we discussed, right? Salesforce follows multi-tenant environment.
So, are you going to cover about this multi-tenant and data sharing, not about data sharing and rules, how internally data sharing works and these things, or did you already cover it?
That's a long session. We will go with it.
Okay, got it.
This is
Maybe
just
I'm
a
too early.
second session which gives you the introductions about how do we log in and all, right? Basic things.
Okay, fine. I'll wait, no problem. I'll talk later. Bye.
Yeah.
Okay, Ram, just came.
Yeah, Ram,
So
sorry to interrupt you actually. So, as soon as we logged into the system, you started explaining certain things, right? We are a bit confused, like what is the architecture of the system and why we are using. What's the difference between other tools when we compared with Salesforce? How would the data saved? What is the limitations of accessing where if it is used by any trader?
Those things are little ahead, Madhu. So let's take the things little slowly. Yep. Let's not
Just
jump in to
no,
the
no, no, no. Just to
details.
make you understand what is our idea now. That's what. Okay,
Huh.
it's up to you, since you
Yeah.
might have covered so many sessions. Yeah. Okay.
No, no, this is just a second session where we are just showing you. I'm just trying to show you how this works for an end user.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Now, if you see here, right, these are the applications which are already built by Salesforce and given to us as a flavor. And as someone said, like if you are interested, we can either make use of them or we can build our own applications as well. So what are we gonna do? Okay, let's cover three, four leftover concepts and then come back. So next to the plus button, you have a small, what do you call, a pyramid symbol, right? Yeah, that's where you can see the guidance center, where I can see the release notes of Salesforce, the recent updates of Salesforce. Click on that. Yeah, so it will show you all the new features of Salesforce from the trailer documentations, all this. Yeah. And then let's say Salesforce told we have a lot of rules automations in Salesforce. Let's say I want to send an email, have used a flow concept to send the email, which where I have followed all the best practices given by Salesforce, but for some reason it is not triggering the mail. I check the thing, everything thoroughly. Even the mail ID is correct, everything is good, but for some reason it's failing. So obviously, I have to raise a service request to Salesforce. That's where, if you go to question mark, you will see help link where you can raise a service request to Salesforce and a case basically, and so that Salesforce folks will come back and they'll answer you. So next to that pyramid, you have a question mark on the top, right? Yeah. From there, you can go and take the help from Salesforce itself. But as we are free users, so we cannot get the help. Rather, once you pose the questions, other people who are working in Salesforce will answer you for sure. Okay, clear? Any questions? Now, next to that, you have a gear icon. Click on that. Yeah. Go to setup. So this is something which we regularly open it, access it for defining anything, right? Whether you are an admin or a developer, if you want to make any changes, any configuration changes, this is the only place. And on the left side, you have lots and lots of features, whether it allows you to create new tables, new users, provide the securities, or create new applications, right? All these things will be discussed from here. So going forward, most of the days we'll go with the setup access and then we'll start building the applications. Okay. Now, of course, if you click on the gear icon, you will see one more which says service setup. So basically, when say if you click on the gear icon again, you'll see service setup. So Salesforce is mainly divided into two clouds. One is sales and service. Especially about the service cloud features are there in service setup. Then I will even explain you about sales and service as well post discussing about the platform. So that time I'll come back and discuss about this. Okay. Then last one is developer console. Can you click the developer console? This is the place where the developers will work. This is the place where we can create our own custom components. As I discussed, it's not that each and every feature can be built and completed by using your what do you call your admin features, right? So there are cases where user might ask for some complex scenarios or complex validations and maybe some custom user interfaces. So that is where we'll come to this developer console and we'll start building, which means all your developer sessions will be taken care on your developer console. So once we start your development sessions, we'll start taking your uh, we'll start looking at this console, and this is where we can see how do we create records at the back end, how to create how to query those records, how do we delete those records, all these things will be seen. Okay, any questions so far? Okay, now can you close this console?
Yeah,
Now
close it, Ram.
next to that, you have a small teddy bear symbol on the right top corner, right? So Salesforce have a lot of characters as well, and this character is called as Astro. And if you click on that, it will show you the a few more links which says My Settings, Logout Options, right? So click on Settings on the top. It will show you your person information and of course some other changes, like you can grant login access to someone else, and you can even define your own language as well. Login history can be checked, advanced user details can be checked, all this. So whenever the right features we are discussing it, I'll come back to the screens and I'll explain you where to change what, right? Now, so in first 5 minutes when we after creating the user, so what we have seen is, okay, we have gone through app launcher and we have seen a lot of applications, and I said like, okay, based on the access that is given to you, you will be able to access different applications as well and all, right? But how do I learn Salesforce now? Here there are two ways of learning the technology, right? One is, yes, to understand how these applications are built, you can just go back, do a reverse engineering, see how this, because there must be some relations built at the back end, there must be some automations run at the back end, which will do send the emails or update the details automatically. But without you knowing all these things, how they are done, you won't be able to understand how these applications are built, right? To do that, you should go to the backend, see how these setups are completed. But that can be done only if you know the technology already, right? That's where you can do a reverse engineering. So rather, what we'll do is, instead we will start building our own application, right from scratch from the next session. Where in the next session we'll discuss about some random market standard applications, or maybe something related to some travel agency or real estate or something, which is very very simple, and then we'll start building the application from there. Or if you ask me, generally in any of the organization, how does it work is, let's say if I want to build an application, okay, user comes to me, right, and I say, okay, Ram, I'm looking for an application to be simplified. So I'll look at the requirement first rather blindly jumping into the conclusion that this can be done. First, I'll will conduct a workshop with that particular business user, try to understand what is this application about, what can be done in this, all those things, right? And then we'll say that, okay, this is how we are going to create the tables. These are the automations that will take care. This is where we can automate the process. Here in that particular case, we can create some what do you call, we have to do some manual process. All the suggestions will be given to the business, and then we'll start building the application. But as we really don't have that much time, so all this 1 week's workshop we'll discuss with the business. We will discuss within one session, where we'll define everything in a simple Excel sheet, and from there we'll start building that or converting that Excel sheet into Salesforce. Clear? During that, whenever you speak about application, right? So you will have user interface, of course, which we will discuss, and then the data model. So we have to define a data model. Finally, the security as well, of course, plus automations. So once we are done, so we are going to complete your entire admin part. Post that, we'll discuss about your development. This is what is my plan, or the plan for the next sessions. Any questions, anyone?
Hey Ram, are you still there or did I lose my connection?
No, I'm still there.
Okay. So in short, what type of application are you planning to build? Maybe you might have some idea.
Well, you can bring it in. I don't mind bringing an application. For me, application is nothing but some collection of data, and you have to define a process to mature that data.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I really don't mind you bringing, but yeah, as I said, let's make as simple as possible.
Okay.
Because intention is not to build a very big application, but intention is to make sure we are learning the concepts.
And how long is the sessions planned, and what was the overall schedule that you were planning? Sorry, I missed it as Friday's part. I was a bit sleepy at that time.
Okay, so in total you'll have 20 sessions for admin, wherein which 1 hour a session, especially on
Okay.
weekdays, not on weekends. Like I think 5 days a week is what we are planning for. So which means 4 weeks will complete admin, and then once we are done with the admin, then we can plan for 4 weeks development sessions.
Okay. So what are you going to cover in admin? Everything, right?
Yeah.
Including platform, whatever admin actions we have. Okay, fine. Okay, I'll go on mute.
How about others? Any other questions?
No questions. I'm good. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. For today, the assignment is that make sure you are getting a license of yours, right? Tomorrow, again, it won't be Malik. Someone else must be sharing the screen, and of course, we will define some application as well. At least we'll start defining some application. Yeah, that's all for today. Let's be tomorrow.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ram.
Thank you.